Do you remember January 27th? Nvidia lost $500 billion in market cap. Why? This little table, published by DeepSeek exactly 1 month earlier on December 27th, played a key role in Nvidia's stock freefall. But why? Notice the training cost here of $5.6 million. Prior to this paper, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman and Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei were both publicly quoted saying their models took more than $100 million to train, with Amodei saying training costs were on their way to $1 billion. Yet this paper suggests DeepSeek can train a competitive model for 5% of that cost and using less powerful NVIDIA H800 chips. Some investors interpreted this as AI labs only need 5% of their GPUs now. Sell, 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 sell. But is that conclusion logical? Let's unpack it quick, and you can read more at chipstrat.com. First, note that Altman and Amodei didn't explain their math. Were they talking about the compute cost for the final training run alone, like DeepSeek was? Or maybe they were referring to an all-in cost, like the compute cost of multiple training runs. The final large training run is preceded by many smaller experiments, failed experiments, etc. One researcher tries something small, another researcher tries something different small, they combine them, run them at scale with kind of like a medium training run, figure out if it works or not, and keep going. So there's lots of R&D training runs that happen. Those costs, were those included by Altman? Of course, there's post-training, there's data costs like data acquisition, labeling, storage of all that data, and then of course, employee costs, salaries, and equity. It's been estimated that could cost 30% of the final training run all-in costs. So comparing Western AI lab all-in costs against DeepSeek's final training run compute costs is an apples to oranges comparison. Now have another look at DeepSeek's reported costs. It's simple. It's just 2.8 million GPU hours at $2 an hour, $5.6 million. No salaries, no data costs, no R&D experimental runs, etc. So why would DeepSeek report different costs instead of their all-in costs? Why would they report just their final training run? Let's think about incentives. The CEOs of VC-backed American AI labs benefit from citing the largest plausible training cost. After all, it can scare off competition. Hey, competitors, it takes billions of dollars to compete. Are you sure you can do that year on year? And the costs are only going up. Of course, only Elon can say, yeah, my dudes, not scared, I'm in. And of course, this is useful for recruiting too. We're GPU rich, everything's expensive, come here, you've got what you need. And of course, the large training cost supports the high valuations and the need for more capital. Hey, Satya, we're going to need that 80 billion every year, man. You good? On the other hand, a self-funded Chinese AI lab with restricted access to compute is incentivized to discuss the smallest number possible. Hey, prospective engineers, we can compete on brains, not just brawn. Even though our hands are tied behind our back, we can't get those H100s. We can't just throw money and GPUs at the problem. But constraints breed innovation, and we've got that in spades. Let's out innovate. Come join us. We're David. Come as we fight Goliath. Now, after DeepSeek shared their final training run costs, Anthropic is now trying to claw back the narrative, and they're responding with apples to apples numbers to help reframe the narrative. Amodei wrote on his blog, I can only speak for Anthropic, but Claude 3.5 Sonnet is a mid-sized model that cost, quote, a few tens of millions to train. And per this Ethan Mollick tweet, Anthropic later said Claude Sonnet 3.7 also only cost tens of millions to train. So apples to apples, we're talking 5 million versus say 20 or 30 million. It's still very respectable efficiency from DeepSeek, but it's not quite the same as 5 million compared to 120 million or hundreds of millions or $1 billion of training costs. And moreover, should we really interpret training efficiency as these AI labs needing less GPUs? Isn't pre-training all about speed? How can I outrun my competition to the next frontier model? And in that case, shouldn't we be cheering the reduction in GPU hours? Think, this final run took only 8 weeks instead of 12 weeks. Imagine how much more innovation we're going to do this year. Faster iteration is good. More pre-training experimentation. And remember, today's small models are yesterday's big models. So faster training iteration implies small edge models will improve faster too. So nothing about training efficiency and faster research cycles suggests fewer NVIDIA GPUs. If you like this video and you want more, subscribe and check out my deep dive on DeepSeek's innovations that made this training efficiency possible. Head to chipstrap.com to read it. Thanks for watching.